Jump scare!
Hva?
OK.
Jeff the jump scare.
OK, OK. Så Georg, jeg og deg bytter mellom narrator mens stemmene våre blir slitne. Evan, du er Jeff the Killer som
Hvorfor må vi lese den igjen?
Vi har ikke lest denne før, Evan.
Hvis ikke
Ja,
jeg er bare sikker på at vi leser den en gang tidligere.
Nei, vi leste Instant Death Disease, ikke denne.
Jeg tror vi leser den en annen gang.
Aldri.
Jeg er veldig sikker på at vi gjorde
Nei,
det.
det har vi ikke.
Hvor lenge er den igjen?
Det er så mange... Skroll ned. Det er så jævlig mange Jeff the Killers. Lenger ned.
Hva er den trofjesen der? Hvorfor den trofjesen?
Jeff the Killer.
Ok,
Jeg kaller alle av de forskjellige wikis.
Ok, Evan, du er Jeff the Killer. Georg, du er Jeff the Killer sin bror, Liu.
Aha.
Flere karakterer skjer, vi bare gir disse as they come. Ok. Ominous. Hva sa du, Evan?
På do først.
Ok, det går fint. Det tar en stund før Jeff the Killer dukker opp uansett. Excerpt from a local newspaper. Ominous unknown killer is still at large. After weeks of unexplained murders, the ominous unknown killer is still on the rise. After little evidence has been found, a young boy states that he has survived one of the killer's attacks and bravely tells the story. Mikael?
Huh?
You are the child.
I had a bad dream and I woke up in the middle of the night.
Says the boy.
I saw that for some reason the window was open, even though I remember it being closed before I went to bed. I got up and shut it once more. Afterwards, I simply crawled under my covers and tried to get back to sleep. But that's when I had a very strange feeling, like someone was watching me. I looked up and nearly jumped out of my bed. There, in a little ray of light, illuminating from between the curtains, were a pair of two eyes. Jeg får bli med på vitsen da.
Moving on.
These weren't regular eyes. They were dark, ominous eyes. They were bordered in black and just plain out terrified me. That's when I saw his mouth. A long, horrendous smile that made every hair on my body stand up. The figure stood there watching me. Finally, after what seemed like forever, he said a simple phrase, but in a way only a madman could speak.
Like,
He said, go to sleep. I let out a scream.
Yep. Yeah, forstår deg.
I let out a scream. That's what sent him at me. He pulled out the knife, aiming at my heart. He jumped on top of my bed. I fought him back. I kicked, I punched, I rolled around, trying to knock him off me. That's when my dad busted in. The man threw the knife. It went into my dad's shoulder. The man probably would have finished him off if one of the neighbors hadn't alerted the police. Ja. Jeg får bare drikke litt vann siden jeg har et sniv i halsen.
Yep.
I drove into the parking lot and ran towards the door. Hvilken dør?
Don't worry about
The door.
it. Boy.
The man turned and ran down the hallway. I heard a smash, like glass breaking. As I came out of my room, I saw the window that was pointing towards the back of my house was broken. And okay, I looked out and to see him vanish into
Tilbake.
the distance. I can tell you one thing, I will never forget that face, those cold evil eyes and that psychotic smile. They will never leave my head.
Police are still on the look for this man. If you see anyone that fits the description on this story, please contact your local police department. Okay, Geir. Du tar over litt.
Jeff and his family had just moved into a new neighborhood. His dad had gotten a promotion at work, and they thought it would be best to live in one of those quote-unquote fancy neighborhoods. Jeff and his brother Leo couldn't complain though. A new, better house, what was not to love? As they were getting unpacked, one of their neighbors came by.
Nico.
Okej, kolla då. Hello.
Okay.
She said,
I'm Barbara. I live across the street from you. Well, I just wanted to introduce myself and to introduce my son.
she turns around and calls her son over.
Billy, these are our new neighbors.
Billy said hi and ran back to play in his yard.
Well,
Said Jeff's mom.
I'm Margaret, and this is my husband Peter,
Peter.
Hey, Peter.
and my two sons,
Peter.
Jeff and Leo.
Yeah.
Okay.
They each introduced themselves, and then Barbara invited them to her son's birthday. Jeff and his brother were about to object when their mother said that they would love to. When Jeff and his family are done packing, Jeff went up to his mom.
Okay, Evan.
Mom, why would you invite us to some kid's party? If you hadn't noticed, I'm not some dumb kid.
Jeff.
Said his mother.
We just moved here. We should show that we want to spend time with our neighbors. Now we're going to that party, and that's final.
Jeff started to talk, but stopped himself, knowing that he couldn't do anything. Whenever his mom said something, it was final. He walked up to his room and plopped down on his bed. He sat there looking at the ceiling when suddenly he got a weird feeling. Not so much a pain, but a weird feeling.
Boner.
He dismissed it as just some random feeling. He heard his mother call him down to get his stuff, so he walked down to get it. The next day, Jeff walked down the stairs to get breakfast and got ready for school. As he sat there eating his breakfast, he once again got that feeling. This time it was stronger. It gave him a slight tugging pain, but he once... Huh?
Boner.
What?
Det føles
Strange
What?
feeling.
Boner.
Boner.
Strange feeling.
Boner.
But he
Strange
once
feeling
again
of a boner.
dismissed it. As he and Leo finished breakfast, they walked down to the bus stop. They sat there waiting for the bus, and then all of a sudden, some kid on a skateboard jumped over them, only inches above their laps. They both jumped back in surprise.
Jeg tror det er Jeffrey. Evan.
Hey, what the hell?
The kid landed and turned back to them. He kicked his skateboard up and caught it in his hands. The kid seemed to be about 12, 1 year younger than Jeff. He wears an Aeropostale shirt and ripped blue jeans.
Well, it looks like we got some new meat.
Suddenly, two other kids appeared. One was super skinny and the other was huge.
Well,
Super
since
serious.
you're new here, I'd like to introduce ourselves. Over there is Keith.
Jeff and Leo looked over to the skinny kid. He had a dopey face that you would expect a sidekick to have.
And he's Troy.
They looked over at the fat kid. Talk about a tub of lard.
He's
This kid looked like he had... This kid looked like he hadn't exercised since he was crawling.
Jeez, man!
Jeg tror en person som skrev den historien hadde noen unsolved issues.
Jeff the fucking
No way.
killer. He's killing these people med ord.
Yeah,
And I,
said the first kid.
I'm Randy. Now, for all the kids in the neighborhood, there is a small price for bus fare, if you catch my drift.
Wink, wink. Leo stood up, ready to punch the lights out, and out of the kid's eyes, when one of his friends pulled a knife on him.
Jesus Christ,
I
hvorfor
had
har en
hoped.
12-åring en kniv?
Husk at han er 12, forresten. Jeg vil at dere skal keepe det in mind resten av historien.
The fuck?
I had hoped you would be more cooperative, but it seems we must do this the hard way.
The kid walked up to Liu and took his wallet out of his pocket. Jeff got that feeling again. Now it was truly strong, a burning sensation. He stood up, but Liu gestured him to sit down. Jeff ignored him and walked up to the kid.
Nej.
Yeah.
Listen here, you little punk. Give me back my bro's wallet or else.
Bro har røyket sin second hand smoke fra moren sin.
Bro, fucking.
Bro, røyten var 3.
Bro, smoking en
Randy put
fucking
the
hel
wallet in his
pack
pocket.
per dag.
Randy put the wallet in his pocket and pulled out his own knife.
Oh, and what will you do?
Just as he finished his sentence, Jeff popped the kid in the nose. As Randy reached for his face, Jeff grabbed the kid's wrist and broke it. Randy screamed and Jeff grabbed the knife from his hand. Troy and Keith rushed to Jeff, but Jeff was too quick. He threw Randy to the ground. Keith lashed out at him, but Jeff ducked and stabbed him in the arm. Keith dropped his knife and fell to the ground screaming. Troy rushed him too, but Jeff didn't even need a knife. He just punched Troy straight in the stomach and Troy went down. As he went down, Leo could do nothing but look in amazement at Jeff.
Ok, jeg tror narrator Georg dette deg.
Jeff, how'd you...
That was all he said. They saw the bus coming and knew they'd be blamed for the whole thing. So they started running as fast as they could. As they ran, they looked back and saw the bus driver rushing over to Randy and the others. As Jeff and Leo made it to school, they didn't dare tell what happened. All they did was sit and listen. Leo just thought of that as his brother beating up a few kids, but Jeff knew it was more. It was something scary. As he got that feeling, he felt how powerful it was, the urge to just hurt someone. He didn't like how it sounded, but he couldn't help feeling happy. He felt that strange feeling go away and stay away for the entire day of school. Even as he walked home due to the whole thing near the bus stop, and now how he probably wouldn't be taking the bus anymore, he felt happy. When he got home, his parents asked him how his day was, and he said in a somewhat ominous voice,
It was a wonderful day.
Next morning, he heard a knock at his front door. He walked down to find 2 police officers at the door, his mother looking back at him with an angry look. Jeff, these officers tell me that you attacked 3 kids? That it wasn't a regular fighting, that they were stabbed. Stabbed, son! Jeff's gaze fell to the floor, showing his mother that it was true. Evan.
Mom, they were the ones who pulled the knives on me and Leo.
Mikael, du er politimann.
Ja.
Du er politimann,
Son,
said one of the cops.
we found 3 kids, 2 stabbed, 1 having a bruise on his stomach. And we have witnesses proving that you fled the scene. Now, what does that tell us?
Jeff knew it was no use. He could say that him and Leo had been attacked, but there was no proof. It was not them who attacked first. They couldn't say that if they weren't fleeing, just the truth be told, they were. So Jeff couldn't defend himself, or Leo.
Son, call down your brother.
Jeff couldn't do it, since it was him who beat up all the kids.
Sir, it was me. I was the one who beat up the kids. Leo tried to hold me back, but he couldn't stop me.
The cop looked at his partner, and they both nod. Mikael?
Well, kid, looks like a year in juvie.
11 år, by the way. 11-åring.
Okay,
11-åring.
11-åring.
Wait!
Says Liu. They all looked up to see him holding a knife. The officers pulled their guns and locked them on Liu.
It was me. I beat up those little punks. Have the marks to prove it.
He lifted up his sleeves to reveal cuts and bruises, as if he was in a struggle.
They're like that. Son, just put the knife down.
Said the officer. Liu held up the knife and dropped it on the ground. He put his hands up.
Han kniv?
Ja, han tog ut en kniv. Det er derfor politiet siktet pistolen på han.
Why did you do that? Is
Alvor,
he
by the
stupid?
way. Alvor.
Alvor.
Let me show. Liu held up the knife and dropped it to the ground. He put his hands up and walked over to the cops. Evan?
No, Lou, it was me. I did it.
Jeff had tears running down his face. Okay?
Ha! Poor bro tried to take the blame for what I did. Well, take me away.
The police led Liu out to the patrol car.
Oh, Lou, tell them it was me. Tell them. I was on the way to kids.
Jeffs mother put her hands on his shoulders. Actually, Nico, du har ikke nok stemmer. Du er mot Jeff òg.
Okay. Jeff, please, you don't have to lie. We know it's you. You can stop.
Jeff watched helplessly as the cop car speeds off with Liu inside. A few minutes later, Jeff's dad pulled into the driveway, seeing Jeff's face and knowing something was wrong. Son, what is it? Jeff couldn't answer. His vocal cords were strained from crying. Instead, Jeff's mother walked his father inside to break the bad news to him as Jeff wept in the driveway. After an hour or so, Jeff walked back into the house, seeing that his parents were both shocked, sad, and disappointed. He couldn't look at them. He couldn't see how they thought of Liu when it was all his fault. He just went to sleep, trying to get the whole thing off his mind. 2 days went by with no word from Liu at the JTC, no friends to hang out with, nothing
The
but
fuck?
sadness and guilt. That is until Sunday, when Jeff is woke up by his mother with a happy, sunshiny face.
Jeff, it's the day.
Du tror det var gøy.
She said as she opened up the curtains and let light flood in. Evan, kan du ta over for meg?
Nei.
Okay, da gjør jeg det. She said as she opened up the curtains and let light flood into his room. Evan? Big.
What? Wait, what's today?
Asked Jeff as he stirs awake. Nico?
Why it's Billy's party?
He was now fully awake.
Mom, you're joking, right? You don't expect to go to some kids' party after.
There was a long pause.
Jeff, we both know what happened. I think this party should be the thing that brightens up the past days. Now get rest.
Jeff's mother walked out of the room and downstairs to get ready herself. He fought himself to get up. He picked out a random shirt and pair of jeans and walked downstairs. He saw his mother and father all dressed up, his mother in a dress and his father in a suit. He thought why they would ever wear such fancy clothes to a kid's party.
Say,
Son, is that all you're going to wear?
Said Jeff's mom.
Better than wearing too much.
He said. His mother pushed down the feeling to yell at him, and hid it with a smile.
Now, Jeff, we
the
may be
father.
overdressed, but this... Huh?
The father.
Oh, father. Oops. Oopsie.
Now, Jeff, we may be overdressed, but this is how you go if you want to make an impression, said his father. Jeff grunted and went back to his room.
I don't have any fancy clothes.
He yelled downstairs.
Just pick out something.
called his mother, he looked around in his closet for what he would call fancy. He found a pair of black dress pants, and he had for special occasions, and an undershirt. He couldn't find a shirt to go with it though. He looked around and found only striped and patterned shirts, none of which go with the dress pants. Finally, he found a white hoodie and put it on. Vi begge sier
You're wearing that?
You are wearing that? They both said. His mother looked at her watch.
Oh, no time to change. Let's just go.
She said as she herded Jeff and his father out the door. They crossed the street over to Barbara and Billy's house. They knocked on the door, and at it appeared that Barbara, just like his parents, way overdressed. As they walked inside, all Jeff could see were adults, no kids.
The kids are out in the yard, Jeff. How about you go meet some of them?
Said Barbara. Jeff walked outside to a yard full of kids. They were running around in weird cowboy costumes and shooting each other with plastic guns. He might as well be standing in a Toys R Us. Suddenly a kid came up to him and handed him a toy gun and hat. Evan did they?
Hey, wanna play?
He said.
Jeg kommer sikkert til å bare lage MP3-fil der, bare ta på soundboard da.
True. Okay.
I know, kid. I'm way too old for this stuff.
Jeg liker hvordan liksom, til og med før han ble The Killer, så bare liksom det sammen. The kid looked at him with that weird puppy dog face. Evan?
Please?
Said the kid.
Fine.
Said Jeff. He put on the hat and started to pretend to shoot at the kids. At first he thought it was totally ridiculous, but then he started to actually have fun. It might not have been super cool, but it was the first time he had done something that took his mind off Liu. So he played with the kids for a while, until he heard a noise. A weird rolling noise. Then it hit him. Randy, Troy, and Keith all jumped over the fence on their skateboards. Jeff dropped the fake gun and ripped off the hat. Randy looked at Jeff with a burning hatred. Okay, Geir, kan du ta over narrator for me nå?
Sure.
Hello, Jeff, is it?
He said.
We have some unfinished business, Jeff.
Jeff saw his bruised nose.
Evan, there.
I think we're even. I beat the crap out of you, and you get my brother sent to GDC.
Oh, Randy got an angry look in his eyes.
Snakk med mikrofon.
Oh no, I don't go for even. I go for winning. You may have kicked our asses that one day, but not today.
As he said that, Randy rushed at Jeff. They both fell to the ground. Randy punched Jeff in the nose, and Jeff grabbed him by the ears and headbutted him.
12 år forresten.
Jeff pushed...
Jeg vil bare reminder dere, de 12 år.
Jeff pushed 12-åringen ville gjort dette. Jeff pushed Randy off of him, and both rose to their feet. Kids were screaming, and parents were running out of the house. What?
Yeah.
Troy and Keith both pulled guns out of their pockets.
12 gøy. Ja, 12-åringen ville gjort
Ok, ja,
gøy.
nei, nå begynner jeg å...
No.
Liksom nå...
No one interrupts or guts will fly!
They said. Randy pulled a knife on Jeff and stabbed it into his shoulder. Jeff scrum and fell to his knees. Randy started kicking him in the face. After 3 kicks, Jeff grabs his foot and twists it, causing Randy to fall to the ground. Jeff stood up and walked towards the back door. Troy grabbed him.
Need some help?
He Pick a fucking Mr. Sausage. Need some help? He picked.
Lät sausage.
Mickey Mouse ass.
Gjør det til pølse.
I'm giving this gun 5 Mark Ruffalos. This blood splatter.
Okay.
He picks Jeff up by the back of the collar and throws him through the patio door. As Jeff tries to stand, he's kicked down to the ground. Randy repeatedly starts kicking Jeff until he starts to cough up blood.
Ja, altså, det er ikke Jeff som hoster opp blodet etter Randy. Come on, Jeff, fight me! Kanskje Mr. Sausage, sorry.
He picks Jeff up and throws. Come on, Jeff, fight me!
Come on,
He picks Jeff up
fight me!
and
Come
throws
on,
him into
Jeff,
the
fight
kitchen.
me.
Randy sees a bottle of vodka on the counter and smashes the glass over Jeff's head.
Fight!
He throws Jeff back into the living
Bonk.
room.
Come
Nei,
on,
dette er
Jeff!
Randy. Nei, dette Ja.
Ja, det er fortsatt Randy. Come on, Jeff, look at me!
Jeff glances up, his face riddled with blood.
I was the one who got your brother sent to JDC, and now you're just gonna sit there and let them rot in there for a whole year? You should be ashamed!
Jeff starts to get up.
Oh, finally, you stand and fight.
Fucking Dragon Ball as Dragon Ball as antagonist. Jesus
Balls.
Christ.
Okay.
Jeff is now on his feet, blood and vodka on his face. Once again, he gets that strange feeling, the one in which he hadn't felt for a while.
Finally, he's up!
As says Randy as he runs at Jeff. That's when it happens. Something inside Jeff snaps. His psyche is destroyed, all rational thinking is gone, all he can do is kill. He grabs Randy and pile drives him to the ground. He gets on top of him and punches him straight in the heart. The punch causes Randy's heart to stop. As Randy gasps for breath, Jeff hammers down on him, punch after punch. Blood gushes from Randy's body until he takes one final breath and dies.
Wow!
Everyone is looking at Jeff now. The parents, the
Total
crying kids, even Troy and Keith, although they easily break from their gaze and point their guns at Jeff. Jeff sees the guns trained on him and runs for the stairs. As he runs, Troy and Keith let out fire on him, each shot missing. No shit, de er 12 år gammel. Jeff runs up the stairs. He hears Troy and Keith follow up behind. As they let out their final rounds of bullets, Jeff ducks into the bathroom. He grabs the towel rack and rips it off the wall. Troy and Keith race in, knives ready.
Hvor ble det av pistolene deres?
Nei, last rounds.
Ah, my bad. Hey, unnskyld.
Motherfucker tok ikke med extra mags.
Jeg skal være ærlig, jeg forventer ikke egentlig consistency fra Jeff the Killer.
Troy
At de
swings
sier
his
rounds,
knife.
det høres ut som at de bruker flintlock. Så det er jo sier rounds.
Fucking flintlocks.
Yo, Jeff the Killer, Jeff the Killer prequel story. Jack the Ripper.
Yo!
Det er fucked up.
Troy swings his knife at Jeff, who backs away and bangs the towel rack into Troy's face. Troy goes down hard, and now all that's left is Keith. He is more agile than Troy though, and ducks when Jeff swings the towel rack. He dropped the knife and grabbed Jeff by the neck. He pushed him into the wall. A thing of bleach fell down on top of him and from the top shelf. It burnt both of them, and they both started to scream. Jeff wiped his eyes as best as he could. He pulled back the towel rack and swung it straight into Keith's head. As he lay there, bleeding to death, he let out an ominous smile.
By the way, ikke en tub of bleach eller en jar of bleach, a thing of bleach.
What's so funny?
Asked Jeff. Keith pulled out the lighter and switched it on.
What's funny
He said.
is that you're covered in bleach and alcohol.
Jeff's eyes widened as Keith threw the lighter at him. As soon as the flame made contact with him, the flames ignited it with the alcohol in the vodka. While the alcohol burned him, the bleach bleached his skin. Yeah.
Wow.
Jeff let out a terrible screech as he caught on fire. He tried to roll out the fire, but it was no use. The alcohol had made him a walking inferno. He ran down the hall and fell down the stairs. Everybody started screaming as they saw Jeff, now a man on fire, drop to the ground, nearly dead. The last thing Jeff saw was his mother and the other parents trying to extinguish the flame. That's when he passed out.
Tenkte ingen på å følge etter de liksom opp?
Jeg mener, Ask, de hadde våpen.
Okay, that's true. That's true.
When Jeff woke, he had a cast wrapped around his face. He couldn't see anything, but he felt a cast on his shoulder and stitches all over his body. He tried to stand up, but he realized that there was some kind of tube in his arm. And when he tried to get up, it fell out and a nurse rushed in.
Mikael.
Kan du ta over, Ask?
Hvilken stemme skal vi gjøre denne gangen?
Hva som helst, man. Jeg tar jeg.
I don't think you can get out of bed just yet.
She said as she put him back in his bed and reinserted the tube. Jeff sat there with no vision, no idea of what his surroundings were. Finally, after hours, he heard his mother.
Nico?
Honey, are you okay?
She asked Jeff. Jeff couldn't answer though. His face was covered and he was unable to speak.
Oh, honey, I have great news. After all the witnesses told the police that Randy confessed of trying to attack you, they decided to let you go.
Randy is dead.
Hva sa du?
Mm.
Oh, yeah.
Randy is
Han
dead.
confesset det før han døde.
Oh, yeah, sant. I guess...
Nei, jeg ville bare minne dere på at Randy er død.
Yeah. Et slag hjerte! Et slag hjerte!
Med one punch.
Det er actually en anime.
Jeg tror vi er halvveis nå.
Jeg tror vi er over halvveis. Jeg har ganske masse dette kommentarer.
Det
Okay,
var cracking knuckles sound effect.
sånn, okay, this made Jeff almost bolt up, stopping halfway, remembering the tube coming out of his arm.
You'll be out by tomorrow, and then you two will be able to play together again.
Jeff's mother hugs Jeff and says her goodbyes.
Play together, det er liksom det som er.
Hun kom ikke inn, hun besøkte ikke Jeff for å liksom besøke sønnen hennes som er i sykehus etter liksom horrifiske tredjegrads forbrenninger. Hun kom for bare å informere han om at broren hans skal bli sluppet fri.
Jeg mener TBH, hvis jeg var Jeff, så ville jeg gjerne, jeg vil ordne.
Ja, men hun går rett etter!
Vel, ja, det er jo litt, ja, det er jo, ja. Ja.
Basert.
Based?
Nei!
Based?
Nei!
Nei, Mikael.
The next couple of weeks were those where Jeff was visited by his family. And then came the day where his bandages were to be removed. His family were all there to see it, what he would look like. As the doctors unwrapped the bandages from Jeff's face, everyone was on the edge of their seats. They waited.
Me edging my seats.
Face reveal.
Face reveal, dream face reveal.
Dream face reveal.
They waited until the last bandage holding the cover of his face was almost removed. Nico.
Let's hope for the best,
said the doctor. He quickly paused the cloth, letting the rest fall from Jeff's face. Jeff's mother screams at the sight of his face. Liu and Jeff's dad stare in awestruck at his face.
For en event.
Jeg mener det første gang de ser fjeset hans etter i tredje grad for meg.
Ja, det var sånn en stor dramatisk event.
Etter liksom det incident.
The incident.
Det må være sånn stor dramatisk event.
I don't know.
Men før for å reveale det fakta.
Yeah, true. Okay,
What happened to my face?
Jeff said. He rushed out of bed and ran to the bathroom, som han visste hva han var, så han har vært effektivt blind. He looked in the mirror and saw the cause of the distress. His face. It's horrible. His lips were burnt to a deep shade of red. His face was turned into a pure white color, and his hair singed
Singed.
from brown to black. He slowly put his hand to his face. It had a sort of leathery feel to it now. He looked back at his family and then back at the mirror.
Jeff,
Said Liu.
you're emo now. It's not that bad.
Not that bad.
Said Jeff.
It's perfect.
His family were equally surprised. Jeff started laughing uncontrollably. His parents noticed that his left eye and hand were twitching.
But liksom spesifikt.
Jeg tror dette er moren, så Nico. Jeg tror
Jeff, are you okay?
Okay, I never felt more happy. Ah ha 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 ha! Look at me, his face goes perfectly with me.
He couldn't stop laughing. He stroked his face, feeling it, looking at it in the mirror. What caused this? Well, you may recall that when Jeff was fighting Randy, something in his mind, his sanity, snapped. Now he was left as a crazy killing...
Narratoren fucking begynner å forklare historien.
Bra tegn. That is, his parents didn't know.
Nico.
Nico?
Doctor,
Hæ? Ikke det.
Said Jeff's mom.
Jeff,
is
man.
my son all right, you know, in the head?
Greg.
Oh yes, this behavior is typical for patients that have taken very large amounts of painkillers. If his behavior doesn't change within a few weeks, bring him back here. I will give him a psychological test.
Oh, thank you, doctor.
Jeff's
Thank you,
mother
medic.
over to Jeff.
Yo, the medic have to...
Yo.
Ikke rart Jeff er så fucked up. Medic installerte fucking liksom killer monkey uterus i hjernen hans.
True. Okay, Nico.
Jeff, time to go.
Jeff looks away from the mirror. His face still formed into a crazy smile.
Okay, mommy. Ah ha ha!
Kan du ikke oppsi det, faen?
Det er ikke et utropstegn.
Ok.
Se på det,
lyver
ikke
til
et
oss.
utropstegn.
Evan som lyger
Jeg var det.
mellom
Det er ikke
tennene
et How? How? Man kan barely se. Man kan barely se at det er en tegn der.
Det er så fucked
Det er
up.
som et tegn der. Man kan barely si det.
Det er så fucked up. His mother took him away by the shoulder and took him to get his clothes. Evan.
Yeah, this is what came in.
Said the lady at the desk. Jeff's mom looked down to see the black dress pants and a white hoodie her son wore. Now they were clean of blood and now stitched together. Jeff's mother led him to his room and made him put his clothes on. Then they left, not knowing that this was their final day of life.
Hvorfor vil du noensinne liksom gi sønnen din liksom terrorklærne? You know?
Terrorism clothes.
Liksom, best case scenario,
Serial.
det kommer til å være, han liksom tar traumatiske minner assosiert med de klærne.
The serial killer garb.
Jeg liker også hvordan de ikke tok med nye klær til han.
Yeah.
Okay, wait a Later
Folk
that
som
night, Jeff's mother woke up to a sound coming from the bathroom. It sounded as if someone was crying.
Sounds like someone's breaking in.
She slowly walked over to see what it was. When she looked into the bathroom, she saw a horrendous sight. Jeff had taken a knife and carved a smile into his cheeks.
Jeff, what are you doing?
Asked his mother. Jeff looked over to his mother.
I couldn't keep smiling, mommy. It did hurt after a while. Now I can smile forever.
Jeff's mother noticed his eyes ringed in black.
That's fucked up.
It's fucked up. Jeff, your eyes.
His eyes were seemingly never closing.
I couldn't see my face. I got tired and my eyes start to close. I burn out the eyelids so I can forever see myself. My new face.
Jeff's mother slowly started to back away, seeing that her son was going insane.
What's wrong, mommy? Aren't I beautiful?
Han kommer til å få så mange liksom betennelser, og øynene hans kommer til å være så dry. Og det
Han kommer liksom, liksom realistically så kommer de liksom til å finne han i en ditch.
Du skjønner, øynene bare kind of gjør det.
Han har liksom vindusviskere.
Er ikke det Miley skal være?
Ja, han har actual honest to god vindusviskere miniversjoner. Han er et cyborg nå. Ok.
Liksom med liksom det fluid og alt
Ja.
sammen.
Ja, det gjør veldig vondt fordi liksom det
Fucking
skraper.
washer fluid.
Ok, Nico,
Yes, son.
she said.
Yes, you are. Let me go get Daddy so he can see her face.
She ran into the room and shook Jeff's dad away. Her dad from his sleep.
Honey, get the gun. We...
She stopped as she saw Jeff in the doorway, holding a knife.
Mommy, you lied.
That's the last thing they hear as Jeff rushes them with a knife, gutting both of them. His brother Liu woke up, startled by some noise. He didn't hear anything else, so he just shut his eyes and tried to go back to sleep. As he was on the border of slumber, he got the strangest feeling that someone was watching him. He looked up before Jeff's hand covered his mouth. He slowly raised the knife, ready to plunge it into Liu. Liu thrashed here and there, trying to escape Jeff's grip.
Shh.
Jeff.
Go to sleep.
Whoa, diarrhea. A Mario
Whoa.
real. Check
Mario the real.
Så fucking... Wow,
Hva er det? Businessman, entrepreneur, billionaire.
buy my micro
What's
game
Wario?
from WarioWare Inc. and vote Wario in the 2024 presidential election.
Det er faktisk bare Vario sin konto.
AK wow, fucker at 1000.
Dette går så hardt.
Jeg mener, hvis Vario noensinne hadde en... Hvis Vario noensinne hadde en, så ville det vært denne.
True.
Wow, dette var noe, wow.
Det var Jeff the Killer. Hva syns du om Jeff the Killer, folkens?
Wow,
Wow.
diarrhea.
Ja, det samme.
Ja, det.
Vent litt.
I have a professional clicker of clicking.
Au, øret mitt.
Bare ett av dem.
Så hva nå?